Test, 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 test. All right, guys, y'all come grab a seat. You'll want to sit probably up in the front half. There's going to be a lot of PDF documents on the screen tonight, as Cody's going to talk about some mechanics, and you won't be able to really see it from the back. So come closer to the front than normal if you would. Huh? I'm the boss. I can tell people what to do. Told you where to go all season. I'm just the secretary. There's a lot of red X's in Arbiter. I just go in and start clicking. Well, thank you all for coming. Those of y'all that are here tonight, for the ones that are online, I appreciate y'all being online. We've got several guys on the field tonight. I think we have 3 or 4 games going on tonight, so several guys are there. They may roll in here in a minute. Some of the games got rained out last night and are playing tonight. And then we had some regularly scheduled games tonight as well. A couple of people just to keep in mind, keep Wes Hall, our president, just in your thoughts. He hadn't been feeling well this week. So also Jeff Jenkins, Jeff's mom is in the hospital and she had surgery this afternoon, so in Dallas. So just keep Jeff in your thoughts. He's kind of had a crazy busy week dealing with stuff with his mom and stuff with his family at home. The season is rapidly coming to a close. This week represents the end of the regular season. You may see some random assignments come through. Rain should hold off. Tomorrow there may be some rain. Friday should be okay. But starting with some of the games on Friday and some of the games on Saturday, as things are happening, there's new games being added to the schedule because we have some seeding games in districts, and we may have some play-in games for the playoffs. I know Justin Robinson and Ricky Goodwin are heading about 150 miles south to go work a play-in game on Saturday. And then we've got a seeding game in Cleburne on Saturday as well. We have some guys going over for, so lots of crazy stuff going on. As we get playoff series, you can go click the schedule in Arbiter and you will see them there. None of the playoff series will be assigned probably until Sunday night. The board will get together and we'll do all those assignments on Sunday night. So you should know hopefully where you're going no later than Monday morning. If you have any questions about that, please let me know. Make sure in Arbiter your blocks are correct, because when we're assigning those playoff games, if you're blocked for a day, it might cost you the whole series. The series typically will start on Thursday evening. Some of them will play a game, one game Thursday, one game Friday, one game Saturday. Some may play 2 games on Thursday, 1 game on Friday, but just make sure your blocks are accurate for Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays in the playoffs. That's the only days there are games unless there's rain. Every now and then we have a Wednesday playoff game, but pretty much Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Ron talked about this a little bit 2 weeks ago, but most of our playoff games will be 4-man crews. 2 people from Tyler will go, and then you'll work with 2 people from another chapter, and the coaches will let you know when you get there who's working where. Like you and your partner will work across from each other basically. We'll work home and second. The other chapter will work first and third. You work around that way. And the coach generally has a preference. If our school has the plate for that game, the coach generally has a preference of who works the plate, and he'll usually tell you that. If he has no preference, that's fine. If the series goes 2 games, the other chapter will have home and second in the second game. And for the third game, they flip a coin typically. And if our chapter, I guess you can call it, wins the flip, whoever worked second base in game 1 would work the plate in game 3. So we don't typically let the same guy work 2 plates unless a coach, just for some reason. And if that does happen, please let me know, because we'd rather have the other guy work the plate and not one guy work 2 plates in a 3-game series. There will be some opportunities, probably a lot of opportunities for 3-man crews. So pay attention to the 3-man mechanics that Ron talked about last time, and I'll share these files with y'all. I told y'all last time I would, and I forgot, and that Cody's going to mention some tonight, because some of us will be working 3-man in the playoffs. If it's only a Tyler playoff game where it's like 2 of our schools, or a school has asked for us as a neutral chapter, especially in the first 2 rounds, we're only going to have enough umpires to send 3. So you'll have to know 3-man mechanics if that's the case. I mean, hopefully there will be somebody on that crew that can help coach you in some 3-man mechanics. Payments, I know that some of you have reached out to me about payments. I'm going to send you a Google Doc. I've told you I would do this. I promise I will. I'm waiting till the season gets closer to over, and I'll send out a Google Doc. You can fill it out with games that you've missed payment on, and I will reach out to the schools. When you do that, if you fill out that Google Doc, it'll probably come out next week. Go ahead and email me a pay sheet for that game as well, because most likely when I contact the school and say Ron Daniels hasn't been paid for his game at New Summerfield is going to come back and say we need a pay sheet from Ron Daniels. So send me a pay sheet, and that'll keep me from having to go get one from you, and that'll hopefully get you paid quicker. Do y'all have any other questions for me? Games, assignments, any issues happening at schools, anything bad going on? Yes, sir. He's right there. Man, Justin lives over there. I'm surprised they need his information. They probably know it. Anybody else got anything? Any questions? All right, well, that is all I have. Mike, do you have anything? Langford? Okay. Okay, Jeff Jenkins' mom just got out of surgery 10 minutes ago, and she's doing well. I think she's like 84, 85 years old. Anybody else got anything? Well, Ron, is it you talking first, or is it just the Cody Whitehead show? Cody's got it. Y'all have met Cody before. He's been here a few times. Cody assigned some of y'all tournament games and games at Faulkner Park, but Cody's going to go over some 3- and 4-man mechanics. A lot of this stuff is what we use when we work the college games. So, I need intro. You need a walk-up song.
Go ahead and just go to the first slide. Let's get this stuff. We'll just go to 4, and then I'll talk through 3 minutes. All right, guys, welcome. So let's talk a little bit about a recap from last week. A lot of you guys, raise your hand if you've ever been on the field for a 3-man game. Okay, so we don't have a lot. And I would venture to say with the number of officials, you guys are probably going to be on the field. So the most important piece to this is, 1, pregame. Get there in enough time that we can pregame. Ride together in pregame, because if you're 3-man and you're probably going to be with 3 guys in our chapter, I would venture to say. I doubt they're going to split crew with 1 guy, but it has happened. So make sure that you pregame, and that make sure that you communicate on the field. Make sure that we pre-pitch signal as to what we're going to do, and it's in your best interest to overly communicate on the field when the game is live, okay? For instance, hey, Justin, I'm going to take him all the way to third, okay? Or, hey, I'm going to take batter runner into second base. Okay, sounds good. Okay, ball's live, ball gets hit. Hey, Justin, go. Or I'm coming in. Or, hey, rotate, whatever it's going to be, okay? So, a couple of things to kind of recap the 3-man system, because it's very important that you have a basic understanding of the 3-man system to go into 4-man, because it just piggybacks, okay? 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 6, okay? So make sure that you're mindful of a couple of things that will ease this process, okay? There should be 2 rotations. Nobody on, ball hit to the outfield. This will be a crew rotation where the plate guy leaves the plate and goes to third, okay? And this rotates the crew, okay? Base hit to the outfield with nobody on. And then base hit to the outfield with runner on first base only, okay? Fly ball to the outfield, runner on first base only, okay? Ball hit to the outfield with nobody on and guy on first base. That should be the only time that the crew rotates. Every other crew movement should be a slide across the infield where the U1 now comes in, pushes U2 to the outside or to the grass cut at third base, okay? Any questions on that? It's very simple. If there's ever a runner in scoring position, the home plate umpire will be still, okay? If there's ever a runner in scoring position, he will be still. All right? Any questions on that? Ask them now. Any for me? Okay. In the multiple umpire system, the 3 and 4 man, you need to make sure that you have the U1 as the quarterback that navigates the crew on fly ball coverage. Okay? The U1 needs to work heavy on coverage from left center over to his side of the field as much as possible. Okay, and the reason for that is it allows the U3 to stay put, which then allows the plate guy to stay put. Okay, so that takes us into the 4-man system. All right, because I know Ron went over the 3-man last week, but remember these things: 2 rotations, nobody on, ball hit to the outfield, first base only, ball hit to the outfield, and if there is somebody in scoring position, the plate umpire stays. So if there's ever a guy in scoring position, we're now going to push across the middle of the infield. Okay? Any questions? All right, 4-man. Thank you, Stephen. Next slide. Just go through them. I mean, it's only 20 slides or so, and we can kind of keep going. Go to the pictures. Yep. Okay, so the starting position of the U2 needs to be in the outfield, but not too far. Okay, a lot of the diagrams that you'll see in the CCA Mechanics Manual and whatever Tasso puts together in their little book will show that it's very exaggerated to the outfield. Okay, you want to be as close as you can to the infield, but out of the way of the second baseman or the shortstop, depending on which side of the field you're on. Okay, and it does not matter at all. It's solely preference. Some guys get on one side to stay open to the batter for whatever reason, or go heavy on the pull side just because they expect the ball to fly on pull side, fly ball, so they're already on that side of the field. Whatever you want to do, okay? You decide whatever's comfortable for you. If you want to be on the shortstop side all the time, do it, okay? Whatever is comfortable for you. But if I were you, I would stay right at the edge of the grass line where the grass and the dirt connect, okay? Even if you want to just stay a couple steps behind, and you give that shortstop or second baseman, whichever respective side you're on, the room to work, okay? Because it is nothing for the ball to come up the middle, and you do this number right here to allow him to work in front of you, and then now you can move forward into second base, okay? Because the only thing that you have to worry about is being from where you are to be into second base for a play into second, but they've got to run 180 feet, okay, on a base hit. Okay. But you also want to be in the outfield far enough to where now you can cover all fly balls in the outfield that are in between the right fielder to his right and the left fielder to his left. Okay, you will take the large area of the outfield as the U2 with nobody on. Okay, Stephen, are we doing somebody goes out? Okay, so if there is a fly ball in the outfield, okay, if there's a flying ball in the outfield, if it's in your coverage area, you need to go out. Somebody goes out on a fly ball. Okay? Since I can't see you guys, make sure that if you have something to say, just pipe up. Okay. Okay. Yep. All right, so what did we say are the rotations in the 3-man system? What are the 2 scenarios? Okay. All right, so in this one, it's the same scenario, except one thing must happen. U3 must vacate. Okay? U3 must vacate. So, now, we talked about this coverage, so let's go to the next one. Infield coverages, we can talk about that another day. Keep going. All right, we talked about plays in the infield, or we talked about the position of the U2 on the ball in the infield. So if the ball never leaves the infield, okay, ball never leaves the infield, there is no rotation whatsoever, and the crew does not move. Everybody mans their bag, okay, and the plate umpire will still work up the line to get pulled foot swipe tag, just like in 2-man. Okay, we clear on that? U2 needs to stay out of the way, but get ready for the next possible play, which would be at second base. All right, go. All right, so clean hit to the outfield. Now U2 is going to come in. If you want to work the outside or the inside, that's totally up to you. U3 is going to come up the line. U1 is going to come up the line to see the touch at first base. The plate umpire, if you want to come out in the direction of the ball that gets hit, so be it. Okay, but you have absolutely no responsibility there, and you go back to the point of the plate. Everything's pretty easy on that one. Let's go to the next one. Okay, fly ball to right field. What did we say if the ball goes in the outfield? Somebody goes out. Perfect. So U1's going to go out. Plate umpire's going to come right up behind and have all touches back in and plays back into first base, just like in 3-man. Okay? He's going to go up, have all touches at first base, all play back into first base, and then the U2 is going to take second, U3 is going to take third, and if we end up having it all the way around, he's going to come back and take the play at the plate. Okay, the plate umpire is going to come back. Once that runner gets to second base, the plate umpire needs to come back. Okay? Once he gets to second base, he'll no longer go back to first, so now you can release. All right, next. Fly ball to center field. Okay, so would this be a rotation, fellas? Fly ball to the outfield, nobody on, and what does U3 do? They vacate his area, and what that means is either U3 went out or U3 went in. Okay, U3 goes in because U2 went out. You guys see that? So this play right here is nothing more than 3-man because somebody went out. This is 3-man with nobody going out. Okay, U3 is now going to come up to second base. The plate umpire is going to go to third. U1 is going to go to the plate. So we now have a rotation. Okay, U2 is going to have the catch in the outfield. Any questions? I know we're kind of going quick through this, but all right, go to the next one. All right, so this would be the other rotation with nobody on. Fly ball to the outfield. U3 goes out, so he vacates his area. So now this becomes a rotation. The plate umpire goes up, U2 comes in, the U1 now goes to the plate. Once that runner gets to second base, the U1 will now mirror him all the way to third to where he's at the plate now when the runner gets to third base. Just like 3-man. These scenarios are the exact same as 3-man, but now it's as if nobody went out. Okay? 3-man, nobody goes out is the same as 4-man when U3 goes out. Okay? And also U2. All right, next. Runner on first base. We talked about U1 being the quarterback, so now the center fielder up and back and everything that way will be the U1s. Okay? It's very important for you guys to work this way because you want to do all that you can to make sure that U3 stays put so the plate umpire now stays put. Because we talked about this. If U3 vacates, then the plate umpire has to move now. Okay? So, depending on which side you want to be on with the U2 is totally up to you and preference. I don't think the chapter has anything to say about that. The U1 will be in their normal starting position. U3 also the same. Fly ball to their coverage area. Somebody on the wing needs to go out. We've already said this. Somebody goes out in the 4-man system on all fly balls to the outfield. So, let's go to the next one. Keep going. Clean hit to the outfield. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Clean hit to the outfield. Absolutely nothing happens because all bases are covered now. Okay? You work your base that you're assigned. Even as the U2, even in this specific deal right here, the U2 really doesn't have to do anything. Okay? The U2, whether you're in B or C, you turn around, chest the ball, and you just be still. Because your starting position should be where you're going to ultimately end up to make the call at second base anyway, on all plays back into second base. Okay? Because we won't go into working the outside. That's for another day and probably another year. Okay, so clean hit to the outfield, man your base. Next. Pickoffs to first base are the same in all things with multiple umpires. So, steal second base, same deal. All right, fly ball to left field. This is a scenario, I believe, that we will rotate on because we have what? Runner on first base, ball to the outfield, and what? U3 vacates. Okay? It's that easy, guys. It's that easy. This right here is no different than first base only in the 3-man umpire system, fly ball to the outfield. Okay? Where nobody goes out. So just visualize this. You're working the plate, fly ball to left field. You don't have a U3, and nobody's going out. Okay? Nobody's going out because The guy in the middle is not going out, and the U1's not going out because the ball's hit the left field. Okay, you're going to rotate to third base, and you're going to have all plays into third base. Once R1 gets to second, U1 will have the touch on batter runner at first base and then head down to the plate. Okay, U2 will now pick up the batter runner and work the middle of the infield, so they have all plays back into second base and all plays back into first as the U2. Okay, this is no different than the three-man system. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, next. Okay, fly ball down the right field line. Do what? Oh. Hey, U3 doesn't go anywhere. Is this the revised one? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay. Maybe this is one that we missed from the previous book that was out. So, all right, in this one, completely disregard U3. Okay, if U1 goes out, U3 is not going to go anywhere. They will stay at their bag, and U2 will man both sides of that field just like as in the other side. Okay? Because in this situation, U3 does not vacate. Okay? Are we clear on that? So disregard this image. U3 does not vacate. Fly ball down the right field line. U1 goes out. The plate guy stays put. You notice this. The plate guy stays put. And the U2 slides over to pick up R1 and batter runner. If the ball drops, he will now work the middle of the infield on that side of the field to have all plays into second and plays into third. The key to the four-man system is to have U3 on this side, on the outside, for all plays now into third base. Okay? Any questions on that? Make sure that you do not do this. U3 will stay put. Okay? U3 is either going in because U2 went out, or he's going out on a catch. Otherwise, U3 stays put. Any questions? No, he started at first base. Yep. Yeah, just like in the three-man system. Okay? In the three-man system, if U2 is working where he's working, okay? So just imagine the white circle, if you guys see that. Imagine U3 is off the board here. In the three-man umpire system, the first base umpire goes out. Well, now the U2 will work the middle of the field and have all plays into second and back into first. Okay? And then depending on the trajectory of the throw, then we're going to watch, depending on that, as to where we're going to commit to the next possible play, but be ready for the play back into second base if both go and all that. Okay? But the nice thing about this is you have a third umpire that if U1 does commit on a ball that ends up dropping, okay, that ends up dropping, well, now you have U3 on the outside waiting on R1 to come into third. Okay? U2 will have the touch at second and then release and let everything else come into the third guy. Okay? Go to the next one. By the way, if the guy catches it, it's a moot point because now batter's out and the U2 now splits the difference of any possible play back into first base or a tag play now into second. Is that all first base? Okay, now that we have a runner in scoring position, what happens? Plate guy stays put. Okay, make sure that we pregame this, okay, and then we pre-pitch this because we start with a guy on first base, okay? We start with a guy on first base. We have a 3-2 count. I am going to third base, okay, on a ball hit to the outfield. Now we go ball 4. He gets to first, and it now pushes R1 to second. Okay, the scenario changes. And if we do not pre-pitch because the scenario changed, we will likely go to third. Okay, so now we say, hey, Jim, I'm staying put, and you guys will now cruise slide. Okay, you guys will cruise slide if U3 goes out. Okay, the moving part is U3, which is exactly why it's best to keep him at third. Okay? If U3 does not leave, then nothing happens. Okay? First and second. Let's go over it. First and second. U3's on the line, U1's on the line, U2's in wherever he's going to be, depending on how you guys want to work it. Okay? Let's go. U1 still has center fielder up and back. On the crews that I work, the center fielder, I will have even more exaggerated. I will have anything normal in left center or anything normal left fielder to his left in the gap. Anything that's normal, and I'll take the entire field to make sure that we keep U3 at third. Okay? But again, you guys work it however you choose to work it. Okay? Say it again. No, as the U1, because the U2's in the middle of the infield. U2 can't leave. Okay? So as this corner guy is the quarterback, I'm going to make sure that I go heavy left field, because I'm going to take everything that's normal and center fielder up and back and everything to the right on trouble. Because I want to do everything that I can to avoid the U3 going out. So the least crew movements happen. Okay? And we're trying to simplify this because you're going to work with 2 guys here and 2 guys there. And if as long as you minimize the number of crew movements, you're more likely to be more successful. Okay? Because the least moving parts, the more guys man bases. Does that make sense? Okay, let's go to the clip. All right, fly ball to center field. Normal catch, okay? Now this, if we're going left, as you see where the center fielder is, the U3 goes out, okay? If the U3 is going to go out, now we're going to have a crew push, all right? So we're going to slide in. Normal button hook or look over your shoulder, whatever it is that you guys do, and then come on into second base. U2 is going to release and go to third, okay? Now you see exactly why, if you said normal routine can of corner to center field, even if the center fielder goes to his right, if U1 took it, he would go out on the catch, the U2 would stay put, he would shade both sides of that side of the field with both runners, and the U3 would stay, okay? And have an umpire ahead of all possible plays into third base, instead of this situation where now U2 is now running with R2 into third. Okay? Now again, you work it however you want to. All right? Work it however you want to. I'm not going to tell you that either way is wrong, because they're not. But if you decide, hey, we're going to go heavy on this play, let's just say crack of the bat, U3 thinks it's troubled. It's in his area, so he goes. Great. The key is the corner guys need to make sure they pick up their coverage partner, so the other corner guy, and see, hey, it's his ball. Is he going? Nope. Okay, I'll go. But as the U3, the most important thing to do, in my opinion, is the ball goes up, I look straight over at U1 and see if he's committed to it. If he has, then I'll stay put. If he has not, then I will go. But if he is not, it tells me that he is coming in. So if he's not going out and he's rushing into the infield, that means that he's giving it up. So now I go. Does that make sense? Let's go to the next one. Fly ball, the outfield, no catch. The exact same thing applies. Okay? The exact same thing applies. U3 goes out. This becomes a crew slide. Plate umpire stays put. Go to the next one. Fly ball to right. U1 goes out. This is great. Okay, so the U2 will stay put and slide over, pick up R1 and the batter runner, depending on what happens, catch, no catch, and then shift himself depending on which play he's going to have. Play at first base on back plays or play into second base on a tag. Okay, but he's going to work the middle of the infield over there and pick up whichever play ends up happening next, okay? Sometimes it's based on the trajectory of the throw, okay? But as you see here on this particular play, he's got the throws going to third base. So U1 comes down and has all plays into third, okay? Another thing to think about, again, this is a little bit more advanced, but you need to talk it through, okay? But it makes sense right here, guys. If you say as the U3 to the U2, hey, Ron, I'm over here, I got nothing to do. There's a fly ball to right field. From my starting position, I can grab the tag of R2. I'm taking him anyway and all plays into third base. So I need to know when he's going anyway. Okay? So I can say, hey, Ron, when the ball gets hit, I'll take care of R2's tag if the ball's hit to right field, which now allows U2 to vacate. As you see here, it allows him to shift and go now work R1. Okay, and all plays back in or a possible tag into second. Otherwise, U2 now has to button hook around to the other side of the, you got a pointer or anything, Stephen? Okay, so you see where the cutout is. He's going to have to get on the shortstop point of the cutout to be able to get that possible tag, okay? Or as close to it as possible. Where if the U3, his starting position facing the plate, he says, hey, Ron, I got the tag of R2 if the ball's hit to right field because I'm lined up from the start. Okay, great. Ball goes up. I can line up the tag even if I need to move this way depending on where the ball is hit. I can move this way, whatever. I line up the tag, and then I can get to third base before he goes 90 feet, guaranteed. Okay, and now it allows Ron to come off of second base and go pick up the other guys. Okay, it's just a thought. Go ahead to the next one. Bases loaded. Bases loaded will work exactly the same as first and second. If you notice, it will work exactly the same as three-man when nobody goes out. Okay? The three-man system is exactly the same as four-man when somebody goes out. Okay? Exactly the same. So, all right, U3 went out, but we have a runner in scoring position, so the plate umpire goes where? Nowhere. Perfect. Okay, so if the plate umpire goes nowhere, what does the rest of the crew do? Perfect. So, fly ball to the outfield, catch, no catch is irrelevant. U2 comes down, U1 comes in, and we work the game. All right? Plate umpire is going to have the tag on R3. Remember in the previous meeting we talked about this on the rundowns? If you notice, hey, push the screen up just a little bit. Push the screen up just a little bit, please, sir. You see the angle? Okay? You're going to get that same angle this way, okay, to be able to pick up that tag as if we're picking up the touches on the rundown that we were talking about earlier, if you guys remember. All right? Let's go to the next one. Okay, fly ball to the outfield to center. Okay, who goes out? Just based on the scenario. Who went out on this? U3 goes out. So what do we do as a crew? This is a slide. Okay? Go to the next one. Okay, fly ball to the outfield. Catch, no catch is irrelevant. Okay, who went out? U1, so what happens? U2 stays put, works the area, and the U3 stays put. Okay? The only difference is now the U3 has a tag because he's got a guy at his base. All right? Go to the next one. Runner on first and third. This will also be the same way because we have a runner in scoring position, so the plate umpire will stay put. If U3 goes out, it will now be a crew slide. If U1 goes out, the U2 will work the middle, and U3 will stay put. That's why people say that you've got the easy job as the U3. Okay, especially when you work on my crew in the four-man system because you're either going out, you're coming in one time if U2 goes out, or you're staying put. Okay? All right, troubled area is the U1, center fielder up and back. U3 has trouble balls in that coverage area on the left side. But again, as the U1, I would pick up all routine cans of corn in the left center field gap. Again, if you don't, it's fine. If you don't, it's fine. It's just now more crew movements. Okay? It's more crew movements if you allow U3 to go out. Go to the next one. What? You communicate it by going. Because earlier I told you guys, as the U3, the first thing I do, ball goes up. Okay? Ball goes up. If I look and see that, hey, that's a routine can. Okay? I'm now going to turn and look at the U1. If he goes out, then he took it. Okay? If he does not go out, then now I know, hey, it's either me or him. So I go. Okay? And remember, he's going to tell me he's not going out because by the time I turn, see the fly ball, go look at him, he's coming in now. Because crack of the bat, he sees it. No, that's a routine can of corn. Whatever. Or, hey, that's trouble ball, he's going. Whatever he decides. Okay? Then he's coming in. He's either going out or coming in on a fly ball. Okay, that'll tell you what you need to do. All right, U3 goes out on the catch. We've already talked about this, guys. Go to the next one. All right, fly ball to left center, no catch, U3 goes out. Okay, the ball is down. Okay, but the exact same scenario is applied to the catch or the no catch because the movement of the crew doesn't change. Right? He's coming in. Because if U1 does not go out, U1's coming in. U1 comes in, takes the batter runner into second base. U2 vacates that area once U1's in and has all plays into third. Okay? U1 will now have R1 back into second and all batter runner into second. Okay? And then U2 has all plays into third. Okay? Once you go out, guys, as the corner guy, once you go out, you stay out. So my advice is even if you go 3 or 4 steps and you now have a catch, you just keep on going. Get away from the play because even from your starting position, you may still be closer to the play at third base than U2. But you must go ahead and get out of there so he knows that you're not staying. Okay? Next. All right, fly ball to right field, catch. Okay, first and third. U3 is going to stay put because he's got the tag at third. U2 is now going to shade to this side of the field, picking up the responsibility from R1 because U1 went out. All right? So he's going to have R1 back into first. Batter runners touch it first, and all plays into first and second. Okay? If the ball is caught, batter runners out. R1 may have a play back into first base. R1 may tag to second. The U2 will have all plays in the middle. Okay? Typically, guys, the most veteran guy will be the U2 because he will do all the communicating and he will be doing all the moving, okay, in the infield, typically. Go to the next. All right, fly ball to left field, catch, U3 goes out. Okay, exact same scenario. We got first and second. Okay. So second only is exactly the same because we have a guy in scoring position, so the plate umpire does what? Doesn't move. Okay? U3 went out, so now we have a crew slide. U1 comes in, takes batter runner at first base, looks over his shoulder, takes batter runner all the way into second base. U2 vacates as U1 gets in and now has all plays into third. Okay? So U2 will have all plays into third. U1 will have all plays into first and now into second. And the plate umpire stays put. Okay? Fly ball to left field. I assume that's a no catch. You notice that the exact same thing happens. Okay, the exact same thing happens. The crew movements are exactly the same because U3 went out. U3 goes out. It now creates this. So let's say U3 is not on the field right now. The only difference would be the black dot in the middle of the infield where the C position is where U2 would start in the 3-man system. We go fly ball to the outfield, catch, no catch, it doesn't matter. U2 now drops down, U1 comes in, plate umpire stays put because there is a runner in scoring position. The only difference is now U3 can take the catch where U2 doesn't have to anymore. Okay? It's the exact same mechanics as the 3-man, or as 3-man, but nobody goes out. Go to the next one. We got to be at third base only soon. All right, second base only, fly ball to the outfield where U1 goes out. Notice that nothing changes. Okay? U3 stays put on his bag. U2 stays in the working area to have all plays back into second with R2 in case he doesn't tag. And if the ball drops, he has batter runner back into first base and all plays into second. He goes to the middle of the working area and works that. Depending on the trajectory of the fly ball or the throw, depending on whether it's a catch, no catch, we look and make sure that we get to touch a batter runner. If the batter runner's out, great. Now our next possible play is R2 back into second because R2 at third is not our responsibility. Okay? All right, fly ball to left field, catch. U3 goes out. Second, third, there's no difference. Okay, the only difference in this situation is the plate umpire has a tag on the R3. That's it. Notice the crew movements are exactly the same on the catch. Here in a second, we'll have no catch. The crew movements will be exactly the same, except that you won't have coverage on R3 because there won't be a tag. Okay, dude, keep going. Looky there. Crew movements are exactly the same. All right, that's a no catch ball to the outfield. U3 goes out, U2 comes down, U1 comes into the infield, button hooks or looks over the shoulder, gets the batter runner's touch at first base, and all plays into second. Okay? As soon as you get in, that's when you are able to release. Okay? So when you come in, Carl, and you tell me, hey, Cody, I'm in. Okay, perfect. Now I'm out. And as the U2 in this situation, I cannot leave until Carl says, I'm in. And what that means not is I'm in the infield. That means I am now taking all responsibilities and from you, and you're giving it up and getting out of there. So if you're not ready, don't say so. If you need to finally get to me shoulder to shoulder and hold my hand before you're ready to commit, then fine. Once you get to there and you tap me on the butt and I'm heading out, great, I'll vacate. Okay? But until then, I have all plays until you release me. Okay? Go to the next one. Fly ball to right field. U1 goes out. Notice the same thing. You guys see the trend here? U1 goes out. U3 stays put. U2 works in the middle of the working area. Because we have runners in scoring position, the plate guy stays put. Go to the next one. Runner on third base only. It deviates just a little bit. Okay? This is a scenario when U2 will work in the hip pocket of the shortstop. Okay? Why do you think that is, guys that have not worked the system before? Why do you think that we would deviate from normal play, okay, and put the U2 right there? Say it again. Okay? So what you're saying is U3 is going to have a limited amount of outfield coverage. So what you're saying, to keep him there, so now we don't have to move as a crew, right? Okay, that's good. But what's the difference in putting him 15 feet over the other way, okay, just like a normal U2 starting position with nobody on, because again, I can still take the outfield heavy. What about R3, guys? Let's say U3 goes out. Who's got to play back into third base? It's going to be the U2, and that's why. Okay? You're going to work as close to that shortstop as you possibly can to stay out of his way because you still have all plays back into third base. You have all plays back into third base. Okay? Plate umpire will still get the tag, but you have all plays back into third base. If we go base hit, doesn't matter. I'm heading to second base just like normal. Okay? That is the only difference. The only difference as normal, nobody on starting position. Okay? Let's say we go to 2 outs. Okay? 2 outs, crack of the bat, R3's leaving. So now you will move back over to the middle of the infield for a normal starting position. Okay? Normal starting position. This conversation must happen pre-pitch. Okay? So if you're the U1, okay, and you're the U3 and I'm the U2, I'm going to tell you, hey, I'm in the hip pocket of the shortstop. Okay? You have all plays down the third base line. Do you understand? Only balls that challenge the line. Got it? Got it. Okay, hey, I've got everything right fielder to his right and everything in the middle. You only have plays that challenge the right field line. Got it? Perfect. And then we go to work. Okay? Let's say we go strikeout. All right, strikeout. I'm now going to shift back over here. Okay? I'm now going to tell you, hey, we got normal outfield coverage. Okay? Normal outfield coverage. I'll take everything from right fielder's normal all the way to the other side. Okay? So just take right fielder to the line and all plays at challenge line. Got it? Yep. You the same. Got it? Perfect. And then we go to work. But that communication has to happen just like that in the game. And it will happen every time that you're on the field with me. When the scenario changes and the responsibilities change, we have to make sure that you are crystal clear as to what your duties are. Okay? Go to the next slide. All right, so this is going to have to be with 2 outs. Huh? Slide up. Well, it's going to have to be because of where his starting position. But nevertheless, it doesn't matter. Even if you're in the hip pocket of the shortstop, okay? If you're in the hip pocket of the shortstop, and of course, it will always happen this way, that they have a barrel hooking ball down the right field line. Okay, now you have to go from where you are, the starting position, and you have all plays back into first base. Okay? You have all plays back into first base. So as soon as that ball gets hit down that line, the U1 needs to make a decision quick, because U2 must go all the way across and have all plays back into first base, touch at first base, plays back into first base, plays into second base, because U3 is sitting tight, enjoying being at third. Okay? U3 has the responsibility of the tag at third base, and that's it. We now have a no catch. Great. There he goes. Okay? And U3 will hang tight and have a stand-up triple play. That's the only responsibility he will have. Next. Fly ball to center field. U2 goes out. Okay? Now remember, he's now out because we don't have runners in. Okay, we got a guy on third base. A guy on third base is no different than nobody on, okay, for the outfield coverage. Remember that. He's not working the inside, right? Same as the 3-man system. So U2's out, so he's going to go out on the catch. When we have a guy at third base, catch, no catch, if we have a guy at third base, U3 will stay put. So now, what do? It seems to be a recurring theme here. So you want to come in, take batter runner, have the touch at first base, all plays back into first base and into second base, because U2 went out. You guys see this crew movements are the same? All of them are the same. Go to the next one. All right. Fly ball to the outfield. U3 goes out, and this is a no catch. Okay. This is when U2 is going to have to come down, have all plays back into third. Okay, all plays back into third base, and U1 will come in as well. Okay? Go to the next one. I'm sorry? Yes, sir. Yeah, the plate guy will have the tag if on R3 only if U3 goes out. Always. If you see there, umpire's responsibility, plate umpire moves to position to reserve the R3's potential tag up. Plate umpire reserves R3's touch of the plate and remains at the plate for any potential play there on the batter runner. U2 enters in the infield immediately and moves into position to cover any plays at third base. Notice that U1 observes the batter runner touch at first base and takes the batter runner into second and has all responsibilities at first and second. Okay, next. Huh? Perfect. Any questions? I know this seems like a lot, guys, but the key notes to this is this. We have 2 crew movements, okay? We rotate or we slide. And if we rotate, it is only if U3 vacates with nobody on, ball hit to the outfield, first base only, ball hit to the outfield. And when guys are in scoring position, we stay put, okay? We stay put as a plate guy when runner's in scoring position. So all that we need to know now is if U3 goes out, we now slide. If U1 goes out, we all stay put. Okay? Any questions for me? Guys, we just went through 20-something pages, okay? And I've worked a ton of 4-man, and I haven't worked a 2-man game in probably 6 years. I could go work it and get by, but I probably wouldn't have a really good working knowledge of it. But the fact is I've known 2-man for so long that now you work 3-man, and it just becomes second nature, because now it's just shading and covering, okay, if somebody goes out. because the crew movements are the exact same as four-man, okay? But you're going to go into the game and you're going to be totally overwhelmed and you're going to think, man, I remember Cody mentioned this, but I just do not recall, okay? Because you guys, unfortunately, are behind the eight ball where guys like us were fortunate to work many years in the chapter in the two-man system and then get a taste of three-man and then maybe a few years down the road get a playoff game. It was different. The dynamics of the chapter were different. So you guys are getting opportunities that you would normally have never gotten 10, 12 years ago. I think that's fair. Okay? So you have to take advantage of those. And the key is specifically communicating. Okay? Now, are you going to remember this? Absolutely not. I don't expect you to. But what I do expect is if you tell me you're going to go somewhere, you do exactly what you tell me you're going to do. Even if it's wrong, because I need you to do exactly what you say, because then we can now move as a crew. Because, Jim, if you tell me, hey, I'm coming in, or I'm going to the plate, as the U2, ball goes in the air, U3 vacates, and now you come in, we have a problem. Because you told me you were going to the plate. So all you need to remember is what you pre-pitched to me 5 seconds ago. Okay? If you will just remember that, then you don't have to remember any of this. This can be a check-the-box session, and you just do exactly what you say you're going to do. Because there will be a veteran on the crew that can help. And he can talk you through things when mistakes are made. But if you will do exactly what you say you're going to do, even if it's a mistake, I can fix it. Does that make sense? I can cover a spot, and then we can go over it later. Okay? Because we got a game tonight, now we got a game tomorrow, and we're going to move spots. And so now you're not going to go work first base again probably. For sure that series you're not. Okay, so your time's up. But you can remember for the next time. But it's going to be reps. But do exactly what you say you're going to do. That's the most important. Communicate it. Because if you have the chance and you say, hey man, first base only, fly ball the outfield, that's the scenario. Guy on first base. I'm going to tell you as the U2, hey, I'm coming this way because you're going home. Okay? Ron goes out, Steven's going to third. You understand? So you got to cover. Okay, sounds good. Well, what if you look at me and go, hey, I'm pushing in? No. But if you didn't pre-pitch this, then I wouldn't know that you're confused. And if you go, hey man, I'm sliding. No, Pods, you're not. You're going to go home, okay? Plate guy vacates, you go home. All you need to focus on is going out or going home. You understand? Perfect. And then we can have that quick conversation to where you're on the same page. So now all you need to remember is, okay, Cody said, ball goes out, I'm going, or I'm going to watch Steven. And if Steven starts running, I'm going to the plate. And so you don't have to think right here going, all right, so ball hit to the third baseman, where do I go? No. Ball hit to the outfield, where do I go? Okay, so I either need to, if it's in my coverage area, I'm going, or if I need to look for Steven, if he's running, I'm running too. Perfect. There it goes. And the first thing you're going to think is, I'm going. Because you're going out, so you don't have to worry about anything else. Okay? Does that make sense? Just do exactly what you say you're going to do, and you guys will be fine. All right? Throughout the course of the week, I've got a few games this weekend, but they're all day games, and so if you guys need me, reach out. If you have a question about something or need some clarity on something, and you guys are on the road and you're driving, by all means, reach out, because I'll be at the hotel for a lot of my weekend. All right? Thanks.
I just sent an email through Arbiter that have links to this file, which is the 4-man file, and there's a 3-man file, very similar. There's also the Tasso Mechanics Manual that you have access to through Tasso, and I think it's in our Arbiter. These mechanics in multiple man are a little different than what Tasso does. I personally think these are simpler. You're going to work with people that know this. You're going to work with people that have never studied any of it. So in playoff games, when you have multiple man, like Cody said, there may be a time where your partners have no idea what they're doing. The last split crew game I worked, I was scared to death because I was on the plate. I trusted the other Tyler guy on second base. The two people on first and third, I wish I could have shot them into the sun. We would have been better without them on the field that day because I could tell where they were standing before the first pitch of the game, that they had no idea what they were doing. And I was nervous the whole time. So just make sure that there's somebody else out there just as nervous as you are. And even the experienced guy may be scared to death because he doesn't have a clue what you're going to do when the first ball's hit, because you may go the exact wrong direction. But just try to cover the place and try to do the best that you can, because like Cody said, we're throwing some of you into places you wouldn't have been 5 years into the chapter and maybe your first or second year this year. Y'all have stepped up. Y'all have done well. Honestly, most of the complaints I've had about umpires this year are about veterans, not about you new guys. So y'all must have done something right. Either that or y'all were so bad they just didn't care to complain. I don't know. But I haven't gotten a lot of complaints about the newer guys this year. So I trust y'all, and we're going to put y'all in positions where you can succeed. As we assign playoff games, we're going to try to put you, the coaches get to request who they want for playoffs, and believe it or not, multiple first-year umpires. I think I've gotten 11 schools send in their umpire requests so far. 11 schools, I think 5 or 6 different first-year umpires have been requested for playoff games, which is kind of crazy. So it's pretty cool. And our most requested umpire right now has only been in the chapter about 3 years. So it's really cool to see the different names coming in from those coaches. And we're going to try to put you in those places where you can succeed and where you can most benefit the chapter. And also you can hopefully help the coaches that have enjoyed having you this season. I would encourage you to be super professional in the playoffs if you have not been professional pre-playoffs. Maybe up what you've been wearing to the games a little bit. I mean, I'm not going to tell you you've got to wear a suit or a blazer to a game, but maybe throw on a shirt with a collar. Make sure your jeans aren't dirty, or if you want to put on a pair of slacks, go for it. I mean, just show up looking like you want to work the job. Show up confident in that first impression you give the coach, especially if it's a coach that does not know you. When you show up for a playoff game, that first impression can go miles. Make sure your shoes have been cleaned. Make sure your uniform looks nice. You didn't pick it up, wad it up behind the back seat of your car. Just put forth that professional look, and it will help you. Trust me, even if you mess up. I was working a game the other day, a 3-man game like Cody said, and I had to play at third base, and honestly, I don't know if I got it right or not. I was coming from the plate. But what the coach said when I got down there was, you hustled, you were here, you were in the right spot. He goes, if you missed it, you missed it, but you got where you were supposed to get, and you did what you were supposed to do, and you looked okay doing it. And this round body running fast always looks funny. So just try to hustle, try to be where you're supposed to be, do what you've been doing all year. Thank you so much for the help. I've told lots of people stories about this season, but it is literally by the grace of God that we have covered every game we've had. Our chapter has stepped up in places that the other chapters in East Texas have not. We've picked up a couple of schools that were not ours mid-season because other chapters said they couldn't cover them. And I have tried super hard to cover every game that I could, and that's only because you guys have stepped up and done some crazy things when I've asked you to. So I appreciate that, and it's been a tough year. I'm hoping for next year we get a few more umpires so your knees get a few more nights off, because we pushed you pretty hard this season. I think Nick and Ben Schaefer came straight from working for Terminex multiple days and worked together. So they'd get off work and they'd go straight to a game site. So I'm just thankful for everything that y'all have done. If I can do anything for you this week, please let me know. I'll know your playoff assignment as soon as you know it. So don't start hounding me for that, because we literally won't know it until Sunday or Monday. So I'm not keeping things secret. If I do know where you're going, if you've been requested, or I know I'm going to put you in a certain spot, I will let you know as soon as I can. I don't want you knowing like a day before your game or something. But if I can help you, please let me know. Thank you so much. I got any questions for me? Anything? All right, good job. Thanks, Cody.